Hello and welcome to another video update of our drift trike build. A couple of things have been kind of giving me a fit. One of those is the throttle cable. The other one is the drift trike sleeves. Now, I did get a piece of 10-inch PVC donated to me. Thank you very much, Buzz. That's his name, Buzz, B-U-Z. He hooked me up with a piece of 10-inch PVC for waterline use, and I was able to get the 11-inch tall tires stuffed into them. It took me like 2 hours. So we finally got those mounted, and that was awesome. So I think we'll be set for hopefully a long time, so that we don't have to worry about putting another set of sleeves on, because it was a pain in my keister. Anyway, so we got the throttle cable scenario figured out. I had to kind of ghetto rig the linkage on the ARC top plate to get it to work. We got it to work, and it's pretty smooth actually. So we're going to be working on the frame here. Let me show you what's been going on. Alright, so here's kind of our handlebars and the engine obviously in one. The throttle linkage we had to kind of set up. For lack of a better term, we had to Rube Goldberg it or ghetto rig it. We kind of had to move the pivot point on the center to the one side here so that it has more of an equal pull, so that there's more of an equal leverage advantage. Because when we had it with one side short, one side long, was completely wrong on the leverage setup, because I think this top plate's meant for the stock carburetor. We are running a 22mm Mikuni carburetor, so there's kind of the difference in what we're doing here. So finally got this worked out. Used a compression fitting on the one side that came with the kit, made up another bracket. This is actually a push type pneumatic fitting, and that actually holds the cable just fine. So that's pretty awesome. We got that figured out. Here's our drift sleeves on our tire. I cut this with a circular saw, and that was quite daring, I guess I should say. It was pretty awesome holding the pipe right here and then cutting the other side with the circular saw. So make sure if you do this that you do it the safe way, which I don't know what that is, but good luck to you. Here's our drift trike frame. I ran some beads here around the main section that holds the rear portion on. Not the prettiest welds in the world. I did notice using the Harbor Freight welding wire, I can never get a nice looking weld out of it. It's ER70S, which is the right type of wire for welding on mild steel like this, but for whatever reason I've had better luck with the Lincoln brand MIG wire. So just a side note for you, if you're using a MIG welder like this guy, you might want to run some quality wire. I know these welds are solid and we got decent penetration into the metal, so I trust the weld quality and I trust the filler. So it's just, it doesn't look very good is the main thing. If I had quality wire with a little bit better machine, I could probably get some nicer looking welds, but honestly I don't really care. We're gonna get this guy together, we're gonna get it welded, and we're gonna go run it. I had a suggestion on Instagram by Airgia66. I think the guy's out in Ireland or something. He was thinking that we should do more of a steampunk quality build where we leave the imperfections on it, sort of, you know, like leaving these heat marks and some of the rust and doing stuff like that. Just leave that all there, leave the spot welds showing, don't grind anything, and then add on some brass plumbing fittings, maybe some copper pieces, and make it really steampunk, which I think would be super fun. I've never done any build like that, so that could be a very cool option. So just a quick side note here, this is the 8-inch brake disc from Go Power Sports. We just mocked it up, and there was about 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch somewhere. I didn't actually put an indicator on it because an indicator was too precise for that amount of run out, but we were just spinning the axle here by hand, and there was a lot of wobble in this part. Now Go Power Sports just has 2 MIG welds right here. We had to cut that off because you could visually see between this clamp collar here, you could visually see about a 32nd of an inch to a 16th of an inch of gap on one side versus the other side, which over this distance can equal a lot further out on the end. So I'm really surprised they don't put these on a lathe or even a piece of shaft and spin them just to make sure that they're true. I think this was like a $35, $40 part. Needless to say, I'm pretty freaking disappointed in Go Power Sports. Everything I've gotten from them has been great, except for this. This is a pile of crap. I would not recommend this. We got our Go Power Sports rear brake disc spinning much more true. It's still a little bit off. I think that maybe the actual disc itself was warped even before I got it. Of course, me welding on it probably didn't help, but after machining this piece down here flat and then TIG welding it on there, I think it's a lot more straight, and I think it'll work just fine for our purposes at this point. We also welded on the caliper mounting ears for the caliper bracket. So that's what's been going on with the drift trike. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, make sure you click the notification bell so that you get notification of the latest videos that I have out. Like I said, I'm kind of behind on videos. I'm trying to catch up a little bit, so bear with me on that. I'm trying to get you fresh videos, hopefully one every week if I can do that. It's just been super busy around here lately, so I apologize again for that, but you got a sweet update this time. The drift trike should be up and running on the next video, so stay tuned for that. And aside from that, be sure to check me out on Instagram if you haven't already. There's a link in the description to this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, we will catch you on the next video.